G'day, this is Captainoob, but this is a vampire's light machine gun with 25% faster fire rate. And if you're wondering how fast it can kill a Mothman... So if you've seen my Vampires minigun video that I did a while back, I'm going to be using the same sort of tactics here, which are going to be very effective, even more effective than the minigun. There's a couple of reasons why. Obviously the base damage on this thing is a lot higher than the miniguns there. See, we're doing 42 rather than 27, which is pretty good. We've also got that fire rate legendary effect, which will increase our fire rate even more. Obviously the Vampires prefixes, when you hit an enemy you get health regen, so spewing more bullets out of this means more healing powers, which means more survivability, so we'll be easily able to tank basically anything the game can throw at us. Next, we don't have to spin up this thing's barrel because obviously it's a machine gun with one single barrel, so we can actually burst this thing a little bit more than we could with a minigun, which is good for ammo conservation purposes because this thing does fire the very valuable 308 rounds, which I do have in 13,000 round supplies, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's under 8,000 by the time this video ends. So let's get into some perks here. Obviously we're using the same sort of heavy gunner build that we did before, so we'll chuck on heavy gunner. I think I missed a heavy gunner down here, and heavy gunner, and H for heavy gunner. And of course we're going to chuck on some bloody mess as well. Make sure we do chuck on bloody mess this time. We've got stabilized and nerd rage. We've just taken 3 points out of stable or gunsmith there to get stabilized and nerd rage. Usually go one or the other, but with the changes to durability, and I think the durability for the light machine gun was good enough in itself before the patches, but yes, this thing is it's not going to break on me super easily. So with all of those perks applied, we do 77 as compared to the minigun's 50. So yeah, a whole lot more damage out of this, and that's only the tip of the iceberg because we know we still got to gate our health, which means we're not getting access to any of the adrenal reaction mutations yet. I'm just gonna make you watch me sit in this water until I've got 20% health. Don't think I wouldn't. Okay, so significant radiation burns later, and also I've picked up parasites. That's no good. I'll just quickly pop one of these disease cures. Thank you, BRB. And now we're doing 133 damage, and that is without adrenaline too, so that's pretty good. To give you an idea of how much that is per 308, I think the hardened hunting rifle with 3.9 in rifleman does 160 damage, so the DPS on this is going to be through the roof compared to that, but it's only a hunting rifle, it should anyway. Alright, so a meal later, we're into Moody's Plaza now, and ironically I had chicken Kievs which contain garlic. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm showing you my buffs. It's the same thing. I had a disease cure. I should have been rid of that snot here. Well, we're not going to be aiming too much in VATS anyway, so we'll just get started on these Moody's. Oh yeah, don't forget to reload this thing. Actually, that reminds me. Just before I get started on these videos, I should probably make sure I've got this thing equipped for actual use, because sometimes, oh yeah, you can see right away how stabilized wasn't giving me that armor penetrating powers, but now it is because I decided to equip and unequip it. Yeah, something that just happens when you're in power armor sometimes. So look how fast we're getting through our bullets here, but look how fast we're dropping these super mutants. It's instantaneously just killing them. It's just... Okay, don't use this thing in VATS because it's a waste of AP and everything, but holy fuck, we just cleaned those guys up. 181 damage, hitting for harder than a hunting rifle. At least without any other, like, adrenaline damage or sneak attack criticals, but that's different. Alright, around the back now, and let's get some sneak attack criticals in here, and we'll just start using this like a hunting rifle, because our 308s are precious, damn it. It's just sniping at super mutants with me a fucking MG42 or MG3. It's one of the, maybe it's like an MG45. It's a combination between an MG42 and an MG3. Yeah, I'll meet you halfway there or whatever. Fuck it, let's just go inside and shoot some more people. Just kidding, mutants aren't people, they're filth. Also, somebody died here, so the spoils of war go to me. They obviously didn't want that stuff because they didn't return in here, but whatever. Alright, we'll have to rebuild up our adrenaline, but that's okay. We'll just shoot these guys if we ever get shot ourselves, and we'll have no problem out tanking and out healing what they can do to us. And look at that, that's why I have Speed Demon and Lock and Load on, because that reload speed is friggin' mint. You saw how slow it was before when we had our perks bugged, but now it's good. Ooh, it's a 2-star. Could you drop me another one of these, because this weapon isn't mine. Also, big thanks to Machete 83 for using this bad boy. It's his weapon, so unfortunately I have to give it back after I'm done here. But yeah, this is well worth it. Oh my god, don't you fucking do this to me. Thank you, game. I don't know what happened just now, but... Oh, hang on. For fuck's sake. Alright, time to do the old graveyard smash. Do we have ghouls in here? Well, looks like one of them's up and about, so that means all of them are there, right? That's never the case. Fucking hell. Let's just get started, come on. But, I've had trouble getting these assholes to spawn, so if you could just, you know, all file through here one at a time, that would be good. Just a couple of bullets each for all of you. Don't need no explosive weapons to hold down this particular way or this particular little section. And oh yeah, looks like we've got a full spawn. Okay, I'm thankful for that. Thank you, game. There we go. So as you can tell, we were dealing... Wow, okay. Weird. We were doing good damage against those super mutants, so we're going to be doing fine against these ghouls who are much squishier but pose more of a threat to in numbers, because obviously they're numerous and they take up a lot of bullets. But that's okay, because this thing did a lot of damage, has a reasonably high ammo capacity. But the thing is that you don't need a whole lot of bullets to kill each individual ghoul, so in a roundabout way it actually works out pretty good with this. Although a quad light machine gun would actually be pretty good. Although you probably want better prefixes on it just to improve damage, don't you? Okay. If we aren't done now... Oh, wait, we're still not done. There's a couple... Oh, wait, these sleepy bastards. You guys are as lazy as the manager. Actually, speaking of the manager, he probably hasn't just decided to get up yet, has he? And, yeah, to get the odd little hit off in VATS is... I guess it's useful, but I wouldn't be relying on VATS to do any of your aiming whatsoever. By the time you, like, pull the trigger, you've probably fucking already burnt your AP bar anyway, so yeah, definitely not the most efficient thing in VATS. If you were to use this in a PvP scenario where you can just, like, spam a whole bunch of bullets over a whole small distance or whatever, just in a small spot, so kind of like a scatter shot thing, like a shotgun, except instead of, like, all at once as a gradual hose of bullets, then yeah, you can go fine with this. But no real comment about this that I can say would, you know, sum it up better than it kicks a whole lot of ass, because fuck yeah, it does. Alright, back inside, we've got adrenaline all up and running, so let's just go. So I figured out the tactic that I would recommend using if you have a weapon like this. Just tap the trigger, fire in 2-3 round bursts, or 3 to 5 round bursts, and that way you can keep track of your ammo and still kill things incredibly fast. If you're in panic mode and being shot at a whole lot, by all means just fucking hold down the trigger for days, but I think doing it this way is going to be a lot less straining on your precious ammo resources, seeing as you only make 12 308s at once, I think. 21, I think, when you've got it all set up with Ammo Smith and all that. But regardless of how much, you know, all of the specifics, you don't get a lot of bullets out of your yields when you're crafting 308, so it's really, really essential to make the best use out of them. So having a little bit of trigger discipline about you and bursting like that is probably your best bet to keeping this thing around better. Also, the gun will reward you. If you can use this thing accurately and succinctly like that, you can actually keep the thing around for a bit longer, because you won't be burning through so much of the condition bar, you see. So there's multiple benefits to not being super trigger happy there, and we'll have to clear out these blokes again, but that's okay, because it's been a pleasure using this thing so far. I do highly recommend using this thing with the stabilized perk, because the recoil on this thing is high, yes, and it's also doing the flaming glitch where it sprays bullets in the air. I think it's because they're too close to the weapon model, and the game doesn't really know where to send the bullets, which is kind of interesting. Don't recall that ever happening in Fallout 4, actually, so that's a new thing, I think. Alright, who have we got over here? Someone's really mad at me at this point. They're all aggroed in the hell room already. I think we're up to that. That's how fast we're just clearing these out. I can't even keep track of how many super mutants I've killed, just because the slaughtering is just so much of them. Ha! Dead doggo. I don't know who killed him. There was a mini nuke outside, so I'm guessing this place was recently cleared out, but I was lucky enough to pick up a spawn, which is pretty good. and whoever was shooting was sitting in this room. Now, if you've got stabilized and can control recoil pretty good, the sights on this aren't too bad. They're actually kind of open at the top, so it's nice and easy to zero into the head. And the super mutants don't dance around a lot like Scorch do, so it's actually kind of easy in comparison to quickly just get a couple of bullets around the head or the high chest area. And maybe if you want to let the recoil pull the weapon up and hit them in the head, then that's a completely viable tactic. It's much easier to hit them in the head when they're wearing those propane tanks because it gives you a nice white target to shoot at. We're done already. This thing is absolutely devastating, so who needs bloodied explosive things when you can get yourself to nearly death anyway and not kill yourself by, you know, shooting like that? I mean, a bloodied explosive one would be amazing, but there are alternatives to it that are just as valuable. Although when it comes to big old targets like Swan, you can probably just hold down the trigger just to see what you can do. You had no right to scream. You died before you even got up out of your water face thing. Yeah. So yeah, hold down the trigger on big old targets like that. That's completely fine. But smaller targets where, you know, the muzzle drift or whatever would allow you to take it off, or you don't need to use like tens of thousands of bullets to actually kill something, burst firing is definitely the way to go. And this is why I don't take thumbnails with the light machine gun in power armor, because look at that clipping. It looks terrible. It's better proportioned, I think, without power armor. Okay, so there's some crabs over there. I think I ate a crab stick the other day, and that was pretty good. I do like my crab sticks. I think they taste alright. And we'll quickly finish that one off. Just do a cheeky little critical on that one because I really want to mess him up. And we've got one gun army on, so I kind of want to make the Mylert Queen fall on her face again because that's fucking hilarious. Little bit of slapstick hilarity. There's a Radroach over there. That's clearly my biggest threat right now. Alright, let's get you crippled, Missy. Get you in bats just for a bit. Have a look at those legs, maybe shoot him. Or we could just go for, like, full-on hold down the triggerness. And I almost died there because I was neglecting that. I don't think I've learned my lessons from last time, that's for sure. Ooh, it's a Syringer. See, that's the drop of a Syringer where I don't mind because that was a non-legendary queen, you see. Okay, looks like we're going to throw some robots into the mix before we take on the Scorch Beast, because this tank literally, like, popped into existence right in front of me. Oh, it's an Assaultron Dominator. You're a big boss of the burrows, but you were easily staggered and crippled by this thing, aren't ya? Yes, one gun army. It's a very, very good perk. Okay, so we're going to see the bat pop out of the ground in just a second. Just hold down the trigger. That was a waste of bullets. Maybe I should just control myself a little bit. Well, he's nice and close now. I can't really see him, but I'm just going to continue shooting at him anyway. If I can knock him out before he lands, that would be good. No landing for you. I'll send you straight back to where you came from. It'd be good if I slam dunked him into the thing again, but at least I get to loot him. If I slam dunked him into that fissure spot there, I think that'd be good. No shooting at me. Bad. Hang on, hang on. I don't think I've had this recording running for long because this thing's just been so effective. So I think we can take on another Scorch Beast. I want to have one of those Scorch Beasts crawling out of the fissure site so I can just hose down its face as it's crawling out. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Alright, new server we've spawned in, and I'm still waiting on the AA sites, Bethesda. Please make that a thing, because these sites aren't the best for taking bats, I wouldn't think. So, our health is, like, sitting under 10% now, because I've been hanging around here. I actually had a recording for this section. Ooh, okay, I'll open wide, motherfucker. Now he's dead. And, yeah, I did have this section recorded, but, I realized, like, halfway through that I wasn't actually recording, so I didn't really have it recorded at all. But basically, it's going the same as it was here. There's actually super mutants. Everyone was, like, throwing in down on each other. It was basically doing the same thing. But what I really wanted it to do was just get in someone's face, get into one of these bats' face, and just hose them down like that. Unfortunately, it's a prime something, by the way. I saw a prime something. Be sure to pick that up soon, but yep, just 2 for 1 Scorch Beast, basically as easy as that. It's super good. So, I don't think I have to explain to you just how utterly devastating this weapon is. It's so good. The ability just to get all of this... Oh, it's Gauss Rifle capacitors, actually. That's pretty good. If you want those, let me know, because this character doesn't use Gauss rifles and Winter's already got hers primed. But anyways, yeah, this thing is just absolutely devastating. It cleans up everything really, really quickly. So I kind of like Vampire's weapons, and fire rate on a Vampire's weapon is also really good. And there was some gameplay that you didn't see of this, but we're only down to just under 11,000 rounds. So, you know, despite this being a stupidly fast-firing bullet hose, we've actually managed to hold on to a lot of rounds there. And that is because of good ammo conservation, making sure we, or for the most part anyways, but good ammo conservation, and, you know, not being too trigger happy. This thing can actually last a while, and like I said before, if you're firing less bullets out of this thing, you'll make it so that it eats up less condition as well, so the thing will actually last around longer, meaning you don't have to spend the resources to actually, you know, repair this thing. So that's pretty awesome. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, this one belongs to Machete, so you have to ask him really nicely for it, because it's going straight back to him after it's done, because he really likes this, I think. If you actually want to farm this thing, I suggest going here. That's West Tech, the ghouls over here, and Harper's Ferry, as well as the burrows that have been recently added. If it's nuked around there, farm around topside, then go in there. There's a whole bunch of ghouls there. It's kind of like White Springs 2.0. But I think that's enough droning on for me. This thing has been an absolute blast to use. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to test this out. Thank you for watching, guys.